they passed 2 or 3 that the words coalesced into meaning. The R's and P's sorted and organized by a fogged morning brain. Longer still it took to identify the purpose of these campaign signs in a non-election year. And so the phrasing of the placards planted like seeds in a 15-mile radius from the Atwater School settled confusedly onto the surrounding community. "A rapist works here," they read. The message positioned next to a sepia-toned photo of a schoolhouse steeple, haloed in black like an antique portrait. They were gone almost as soon as they'd popped up, lingering only for a day or two, so that those that remained withered like mailbox balloons after a birthday party, wilted and random, more frequent the farther you traveled from campus. They guessed the school came around and tore them up. Or maybe it was their neighbors for whom the vulgarity of the signs was too much. Who wanted to look at that word every day? Who wanted to think about that kind of violence? Because of this, few of them had the chance to look up the URL that slugged the bottom of each sign, the one that might have directed them to a petition to extend Connecticut's statute of limitations on rape and sexual assault. A kind of activism that might have struck them as surprisingly reasonable, given the shock of the headline and the tabloidishness of the signs. In time, the townspeople for whom Atwater was a kind of ivory tower would decide the words on the yard signs weren't meant for them. Not really. And the act of vigilante justice would fade in their memories to a kind of sad and misguided prank. They were used to this kind of thing, the whispers of scandal that accompanied the very, very privileged. It was never any of their business.
Orientation. Lauren Triplett has vomited in a lot of public places. On the sidelines of a soccer field, in the parking lot of a Dunkin' Donuts, at Six Flags, at Disney World, once even at the edges of a Black Diamond run on a mountain in the Adirondacks, orange-pink throw-up melting the powder on contact. And now, somewhere on the side of the road in rural Connecticut. Her mother has not bothered to get out of the car. Susan Triplett has a spectacularly weak stomach of her own. And while a person might think that that would make her more sympathetic to her daughter's propensity for motion sickness, in fact, it does not. Instead, Lauren's dad hangs a few feet off, hands on his hips. "Sorry, kid." Lauren spits, her hands still braced against her knees. She eyes her shins for flecks of stray vomit. She'll need to find a place to brush her teeth. Did she pack mouthwash? That would be easier. "Not your fault," she says, her eyes not quite meeting her dad's as she peels herself up, unfurling her vertebrae one at a time. "How much longer?" "Not much. 15 minutes. Lauren nods. A large SUV zips past them, its draft shaking the triplets' own Forester and kicking up dead leaves settled at the shoulder. "I hope that's not one of my classmates." Her dad shrugs. "No way they got a good enough look." Lauren rolls her eyes. "Not helpful." As they climb back into the car, Lauren's mother extends a hand into the back seat, passing a tin of mints in her daughter's direction. "Do you guys see that?" she says, nodding her chin toward the windshield. Lauren's dad starts the car and checks his mirror. "There," her mom says, pointing now, the tin of mints aimed at a small poster 20 yards up the road. Her dad sighs and shakes his head. "What do you think that's about?" "I hope it doesn't have anything to do with your school," Susan says. The mint opens Lauren's nasal passages, and she...